So once again, till 10:30 this morning, like I said, we're having some small glitches. I'm going to be honest with you. We're having some small slowdowns with the weather system this morning. So I'm going to be talking out a lot of it with you. Let me try and put this into movement here. Here you go. You can see over the past, let's see, hour or so, we haven't had much movement with the storm systems. That's because we have that stationary front that's kind of moved into the area. But this particular area of rotation is hovering just around the Marble Falls area. I'd say it's right here based off of the feedback that we're seeing on the radar. This is going to be lingering for another 25 minutes is the current warning time frame. But I have a discussion here with the National Weather Service that I am continuing to monitor with any and all updates. So once again, if you are tuning in, if you are just new to this warning, we do have a tornado warning for parts of Burnett and Williamson County for another 24 minutes or so. We saw some rotation within a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's kind of try and see if we can find that rotation together. So we're not seeing it there. What I'll do is I'll bring it back here. I think based off of the feedback that we're seeing with the winds, that it would now be moving a little bit further. Where I'm going to put the little magnifying glass here is where I think the rotation is. I think it's going to be right around here. We're currently not getting any Doppler feedback because we're operating off of satellite radar at the moment, which isn't going to be able to pick up on the changing of the wind speeds where we can find that rotation. However, based off of the signature I am seeing off the satellite radar, I'm very confident that it's between Burnett and Marble Falls right now. Once again, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. We could see gusts up to 70 miles per hour with this particular system. It is worth noting that areas do need to be on alert. The latest from the National Weather Service has this pinpointed east of Fairland and then southwest of Bertram. So the rotation is, in fact, right here is where the National Weather Service has picked up on it. So right here, if you're tuning in with us, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little closer here. This is the area that the National Weather Service is picking up on that rotation, moving toward the Bertram area. So if you are residing in Bertram, you have friends, you have family members there, please contact them immediately. Let them know to get to their safe space. Take cover now. Safe space, once again, is going to be a single level, the first floor of a building, away from windows and doors. You're going to put those hands over those heads, keep the head down, go into the most interior room that you can. If you're in a bathroom, get in the tub, put the head down. We are going to continue to provide cut-in coverage until this tornado warning has expired. This is impacting both Burnett and Williamson counties. We're going to have to see if this cell is able to hold together. It is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, which means we can expect it in the Bertram area fairly quickly. If you are in Liberty Hill, you currently are not experiencing anything on the radar. However, you do fall within this tornado warn box. So we want you to make sure that you are in your safe space as well, just in case this system, if it takes a little bit of a pivot down toward the south and east. So if you are in Bertram, Liberty Hill, honestly, even if you reside in Burnett, I would go ahead and find your safe space now as well, just because you are on the outer edge of this tornado warning. So we are once again checking in. If I'm looking off screen, it's because I am checking in with the National Weather Service. We have our ongoing chat with them. The latest update as of just 60 seconds ago, still a severe thunderstorm capable. We have not had confirmation of a tornado just yet. It is a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. Whenever we look at the feedback from the velocity of the different changing of the direction of the winds, a tornado warning can be issued if we believe one is forming or has touched the ground. We have not received visible confirmation of this, but we do see enough rotation on the radar to warrant a tornado warning. So what they say is this was located near Oatmeal or near Burnett, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So the latest update does still have this moving at about the same speed. Now locations impacted continue to be Burnett, Marble Falls, Bertram, Liberty Hill, Oatmeal, and Shady Grove. You're going to want to take cover now, move to the basement if you have one, or an interior room on the lowest level of a sturdy building. If you're saying, Shane, I'm not in a sturdy building, well, I know this might sound a little wild, but you need to go outside and find a low-lying area such as a ditch, and you're going to need to cover your head and keep your head down. Once again, if you are in a sound structure and you're going to that interior room, if it's away from the television, please turn up the audio on it. I'm going to be here and I'm going to walk you through all of this, okay? If you're streaming on your phone or a computer, bring that with you. And I will continue to walk you through this as well. So the latest from the National Weather Service just a few seconds ago saying that this is showing some indications of weakening, which is great news. And there still has not been confirmation, visible confirmation of this system just yet. So once again, the area of rotation as of last check is still in this little nook right here, moving toward Bertram. But we also need to be on alert if we live in Liberty Hill. If you reside along the 29 corridor right here, please make sure you find that safe space immediately. Once again, if you are in a structure that is not a sound structure, I am going to need you to go outside, find a low-lying area away from trees or any flying debris, and you're going to get in a low-lying area such as a ditch, away from any trees. You're going to put your head down in that ditch, hands over the head, and you're going to wait for this to pass. It's currently 10:11, and this warning goes until 10:30 this morning, impacting parts of Burnett and Williamson County. Let me step out of the way here just so I can show you the full range of this tornado warned area. This is also included in a severe thunderstorm warning. You'll notice that that extends a little bit further toward the Buchanan Dam area. The reason I mention this is we want to make sure that everyone in the surrounding vicinity is also taking alert in case we have any additional rotation that comes up. Also, since this is along a stalled frontal boundary, we can typically expect the movement to be northeast like it is now. However, if that front fluctuates a little bit further to the north or to the south, we could see a slight trajectory change, I feel like. So right now, it is still moving northeast toward the Bertram and Liberty Hill area. But that's why I want to make you aware, even if you're on the outer edge and periphery of this flashing red box that is indicating the tornado warning. So if you also live along CR 335, Country Road 340 as well, please, please, please be on alert. We are still seeing some amounts of rotation here. Trying to see if we can get any kind of additional data. Like I said, if you see me looking off the screen, everyone, it's because I do have an ongoing conversation going on with the National Weather Service, and I'm making sure that I'm getting the absolute latest information that maybe if we're not necessarily picking up on the radar here. So as I remove the radar a little bit here, I just want to kind of highlight some of the other areas in this spot. Like we said, Burnett, even though you were right on the outside periphery of this tornado warning, you still need to be on alert. If you are in Oatmeal, Bertram, or Liberty Hill, please take cover immediately. If you have friends that live there, I'm going to want you to make sure that you are alerting them now to let them know to take cover. Find that safe spot. We've still got another 17 minutes together with this warning. It is moving still northeast at 25 miles per hour. We haven't seen any change in regard to the storm's speed or direction. It is still fairly moving in the same direction and speed as it was whenever this warning did begin. I am noticing even on the satellite radar that we're getting quite a bit of a weakening trend. However, Like I said, the Doppler radar that we would normally use is currently down at the moment, so we are utilizing satellite radar data, which is why we are also keeping up with the National Weather Service for all of our updates. So once again, between the Liberty Hill area and Bertram, this is where the area of rotation is. That tornado warning lasting for another 16 or 15 minutes or so, pushing northeast at 25 miles per hour. Take cover in that safe space right now. Turn up the radio, turn up the television, the phone, your laptop, whatever you're utilizing to get this weather report. Bring it with you if you can into your safe space. I mentioned bathrooms. I've mentioned laundry rooms, any interior space without a window. If you can grab a pillow, blanket, even a light mattress with you, bring that, put it on top of you while you can. And if you're able to do so quickly, we're about to get another update from the National Weather Service, so hold on just a moment with me, folks. This system, we are getting confirmation, is producing hail. So if you do reside in this area right now, in this warned area, even in the severe thunderstorm warning area, which as I zoom out a little bit further, I can show you here, even this area, we've been getting quite a few hail reports as well. So if you're hearing the hail on your roof or your window, that's what it is. It is hail. It's not necessarily flying debris at this point. But we've been seeing reports of hail with this. Right now, the report is smaller than dimes, and that report was about 5 miles southeast of Burnett. We are also seeing, obviously, very heavy downpours within the areas that you're seeing shaded in red, yellow, and orange. We could also see gusts potentially up to 70 miles per hour with this particular system here. Once again, if you're joining us now, we've got 14 minutes left in this tornado warning that is impacting the eastern side of Burnett County into the western edge of Williamson County. The overall trend has been that this system is weakening, and we have not yet received official confirmation of any tornado. This is a radar-indicated tornado warning. What that means is that the radar picks up on possible rotation, and if it's tight enough and it looks like a tornado signature, the National Weather Service will issue this tornado warning. There are radar-indicated tornado warnings and official confirmed by vision tornado warnings. This is one that was radar indicated. So once again, we're looking at that rotation kind of near the Oatmeal area, pushing toward Bertram and Liberty Hill as we speak. Now, I mentioned not only the potential for hail and damaging wind, but I also talked about how we could be seeing heavy to moderate downpours. We also have received messages from the National Weather Service that we could be having a flood advisory issued for portions of Burnett and also Llano County, because what's happening is, as I zoom out a little further here and show you the overall system, I mentioned we have that stationary front that's sliding in, and it's kind of set up shop here, stationary front. It's not moving, right? And that means what we have is these storms and rain showers and storms training or moving over the same area for long periods of time, and that leads to heavy amounts of rainfall. So not only do we have this severe thunderstorm warning, not only do we have the active tornado warning that was radar indicated, but we also have now this little green area right here, which is kind of difficult to see with everything going on. That's indicating the flood advisory. So we have a bit of an overlap, all three, in the southwestern edge of this warning area right here. Once again, zooming in just to give you the latest data in regard to the tornado warning. It goes until 10:30. That is another 12 minutes. That is moving toward the Bertram area. It was near Oatmeal. It looks like we're passing the Oatmeal area based off of this satellite feedback. If you are in Bertram, if you're in Liberty Hill, I need you to take cover immediately on the outside edge of this tornado warning. I'm going to talk about this just in case you're in the Briggs area or you know anyone, you have friends or loved ones there in the Briggs area. Make them aware of this tornado warning as well, because if that area of rotation were able to hold together as a passes over Highway 29, we could see this possibly get extended. Now, I have not had any notes from the National Weather Service just yet saying that it will be extended, but I like to just err on the side of caution. Go ahead and find your safe space or know where you're going to go if you're in the Briggs area, because this is moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour, so it could be in your neighborhood shortly. We are waiting for our next update from the National Weather Service. Once again, if you see me looking off the screen, that's what I'm doing. I'm checking in with them really quickly. Zooming out once again a little further here, you can see these storms are extending well north of the viewing area right now. It looks like we're going to be dealing with these showers and storms probably through around the midday hours. We have that active tornado watch in effect for most of the KVUE viewing area until 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then we will have another round of potentially strong storms moving in later tonight into tomorrow morning. So this is just possibly the first tornado warning that we could probably see of several as we head into the next I'd say 20 hours or so. We could see multiple rounds of severe warned storms or even tornado warnings. Right now, we're going to zoom in a little bit closer here to where I think the rotation should be by now. It would be in between, closer to the Bertram area. This is where I'm thinking that rotation most likely is based off of that northeasterly track at 25 miles per hour. We saw a pretty strong rotation signature, but once again, no official confirmation of a tornado that has touched down just yet. This is a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado for portions of Burnett and the western edge of Williamson County. Gusts up to 70 miles per hour, once again possible with this. Within some of the storms that are extending in the tornado watch area, which like I said is a majority of central Texas through 5 o'clock today, they said the potential for tennis ball size hail will be there. Now that tornado watch also extends well to our north, so that could be where some of the stronger storms are located as well. But I just want you to be aware that that is also something that we are monitoring for you. Okay, so I'm getting reports that we have a tweet from Marble Falls ISD. So once again, this is from Marble Falls ISD for all my parents out there. All Marble Falls ISD campuses are safe and secure. We are aware of the tornado warning in the Marble Falls area, and all Marble Falls ISD schools are exercising severe weather drills out of an abundance of caution. So that is just news into our newsroom right now. That is an official tweet from the Marble Falls ISD Twitter account or X account. And this is showing that all the campuses are safe and secure, and then students are practicing their severe weather drills out of an abundance of caution, because once again, this is a radar confirmed tornado warning, a radar issued warning. It is not a visibly confirmed tornado warning, at least not as of this moment. The latest from the National Weather Service has just said that this signature for the tornado warning is getting weaker and weaker. So that is good news for us here, folks. Let me show you a little bit more here. So that rotation, although it is weakening, is still being detected just between the Bertram and Liberty Hill area. This is the area that we're focusing in on. Like I said, not officially confirmed, but the radar has indicated tight enough rotation for this to hold together. The edge of the tornado warning currently just west of the 183 line. However, if the rotation is still tight enough, they could extend this warning. That would be impacting the Briggs area, possibly roping in folks that live near Florence. We're still going to hold on with this tornado warning and this cut-in coverage until this tornado warning expires. That would be in another 6.5 minutes or so. If you are between the Bertram area, Liberty Hill area, even if you are in Briggs or Florence, go ahead and have that plan if you are outside of the tornado warning zone. But if you're in Bertram and Liberty Hill, I need you to take cover right now. Please go into the interior room of your first floor, away from windows, get away from the doors. If it's a bathroom, if it's a laundry room, Put your head down, hands behind the head. If you can grab a blanket or a pillow quickly, then that's great. Do so. If you can't do that quickly, then just get to your safe space, and I'm going to walk you through the rest of this. Turn up the audio on your television if you're watching on the TV. If you're watching this on your phone or laptop, bring that with you. Turn up the audio. I'm going to be walking you through this. Just as a reminder, we've already gotten some reports of dime-size hail that was in Burnett County. So if you're hearing that on the roof, if you're hearing that on the window, that's what it is. We've gotten confirmation of hail. We're seeing the heavy downpours. We've already gotten a flood advisory just west of Bertram right now. We are also monitoring the potential for gusts up to 70 miles per hour. This is why we need you away from the walls, away from the windows, because any flying debris could become a projectile that goes through the window. That's why we want you in the interior room. Between Bertram and Liberty Hill right now, like I said, that rotation is slowly making its way into the area. Just as a reminder, we still have that movement northeast at 25 miles per hour. That has not changed yet. Taking a look at the latest from the National Weather Service here. As we make our way toward the Bertram area, I'd mentioned that the heavy downpours that we're dealing with, we have the latest here from Emergency Management in Burnett County saying that the chief of police reported visibility near zero due to the heavy amounts of rainfall that we have in the Bertram area. So if you're hearing this and you were thinking about getting on the roads, that is absolutely not what you need to be doing right now. You need to find your safe space. If you are driving and you're listening to this on your phone, you need to pull over toward a sound structure. If there is no sound structure around you right now, you need to find a ditch or low-lying area away from trees and flying debris. You're going to lay down in that ditch and you're going to keep your hands behind your head. And I'm going to walk you through this for the next few minutes. Keep in mind, this is set to expire at 10:30. It is now 10:25, about to turn 10:26. That rotation has been said to have been weakening. We have gotten reports of visibility near zero due to heavy amounts of rainfall. And the latest update within the past 60 seconds from the National Weather Service is that it does look like this storm is weakening enough that they are going to be able to cancel the tornado warning. It has not yet officially been canceled yet, but to cancel the tornado warning and possibly the severe thunderstorm warning that is associated with it as well, that you can see includes the Lake Victor and Briggs area. We'll hold on just until we get the official confirmation from the National Weather Service, but that is the latest trend within the past 60 seconds from the National Weather Service, that they do think that this system is weakening enough. We're seeing it on the satellite radar. The way we can kind of detect this on radar is you see less of a hook and you see more of a blob. When you see more of a blob, that means it's losing its rotation, which means we have a lower velocity winds and not as much wind shear and spin. And that's good news in this situation. We want to see that. We're okay with heavy rains. Yes, we have to be mindful of the flood risk that comes along with it, but we'll take heavy rains over a tornado any day. Now, once again, Burnett, Williamson County, we still have it ongoing. It's set to expire in the next 2.5 minutes. My assumption is that the National Weather Service might let this just run till 10:30 and then let it expire naturally at that point. But I'm going to stay with you until we get official confirmation of that. We want to make sure that nothing is able to regain strength. I'll zoom out in the meantime while we're waiting for this to potentially expire in the next 2.5 minutes to show you what we're dealing with across all of Central Texas. So if you are watching outside of Burnett and Williamson County, you know what we're dealing with. We have a stalled frontal boundary that's kind of combining with some outflow from other storms. And that's what's sparking up these heavy showers, strong winds, and possible rotation. We are going to have to keep our eyes on the potential for additional rotation all the way through at least 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, there is another batch of storms that is arriving late overnight that could also bring some additional severe weather threats to the I-35 corridor, to parts of the hill country and the coastal plains overnight into tomorrow morning before sunrise. So make sure that this is not the only time that you're staying weather aware for this tornado warning. I do think that we could have additional warnings issued a little bit later this evening and possibly into early tomorrow morning. So you'll want to make sure you have ways to stay alert and be woken up if any warnings were issued while you're sleeping, since this will be another overnight event for us. So just as a reminder, we have a little bit over 60 seconds left together with this tornado warning. It was impacting areas stretching from Marble Falls all the way to the Bertram and Liberty Hill area. We have received some notes from the National Weather Service that the system is weakening. Now, if this warning does get expired, it is still worth noting that we could still see some pretty strong to possibly damaging winds. The hail potential will still be there, and also, obviously, the heavy rainfall potential will be there as well. So just because this tornado warning, if it gets dropped in the next 40 seconds or so, gets canceled, that doesn't mean that our overall severe weather risk for the morning and the day and even tonight is over with. I think this is going to be a stretch that we could be following all the way until sunrise tomorrow morning. So once again, should be in the next 30 seconds we see this flashing red box drop. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for and hoping for all of you out there. I know I've talked with many viewers that say they have weather anxiety whenever we get into severe weather season like we're in. We have the flood risk. We're no strangers to tornadoes or severe thunderstorms. So I know people get very anxious about this, but let's see if we're able to see this dropped in the next couple of moments. I do have official confirmation that the storm which prompted this warning has weakened below severe limits, and it no longer appears capable of producing a tornado, and they have now officially expired this tornado warning. We do still have that active severe thunderstorm warning ongoing in Burnett County, and that does include the Bertram area still. We will continue to monitor all the severe weather updates. We'll provide updates on air and online, but until then, we'll return you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Have for you during the 10 o'clock hour as we look to, first of all, Bertram, you folks, in about 3 minutes, be prepared because the storm is heading in your direction. Mahomet, about 10:25, 10:30, the Santa Rosa de Lima Catholic Church. Briggs in northeastern Burnett County, about 10:33. So you have time to get to your place of safety if you're in Mahomet and if you're in Briggs, Florence, and Williamson County at about 10:42. This is the projected time that the storm that has caused this warning to be issued is expected to pass through your area. We're getting a northeastern movement on this at around 35 to 40 miles an hour. These storms are racing. They will be racing on through Williamson County and then further up the line into Bell County. So again, moving rather quickly. That's the good thing, Kristen.
Absolutely. And Rich, if you want to flip over your radar so we could see the reds and the oranges there, I think that might help people identify a little bit more where this storm is, the core of this storm, because right now, Burnett, you're getting slammed with heavy rain, but it's actually going to be the circulation a little further south of you that has my concern. So that right there, this circulation that's generally pushing towards the northeast, and I know it's kind of confusing here because you've got the severe thunderstorm warning in that orange polygon, and that red polygon is actually the tornado warning. That right there is going to be the circulation of concern. So it is northeast of Seduth, Oatmeal. I need you right now in your tornado safe room. Again, downstairs, as many walls between you and the outside. Ideally, that's a room with no windows or very small windows, typically a closet downstairs, a bathroom downstairs. From the latest update, we do not have a confirmed tornado, but just a radar indicated rotation with this thunderstorm. But we knew kind of going into this event, it would be one of those days where we have very little lead time on some of the severe storm threat. This tornado warning popped up real quick. I mean, not too long after the severe thunderstorm warning got up. So we need to make sure that we're taking this very seriously and acting as if there is a tornado on the ground. We don't know that yet. All we know is that that severe thunderstorm is spinning. You can see that tornado warning does stretch up towards northeast. It does not include Briggs just yet, but it does include Bertram. So Bertram, I need you in your tornado room. For those who live in between Burnett and Liberty Hill at all along 29, we want to make sure that you are in your safe room here. So I've outlined this, doesn't accurately show what I need you to see. This is what I want you to show, and pretty much for you guys to know. There's probably a couple minutes of wiggle room on either side of this. So I need Oatmeal in their tornado room, the storm, and that velocity signature, that spin is expected to be in and around your area by 10:24. It is 10:08 right now, but I want you there at this moment. Mount Zion Church, 10:25. About 10:33 in Bertram, if not even a little bit sooner. You heard Rich say that these storms are moving quick to the northeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. We have CFC Aviation Ranch at 10:34. Muhammad at 10:55, and then getting into the 11 o'clock hour there, 11:01 Santa Rosa de Lima Catholic Church. So this is the big picture right now. This is the only storm of concern. There's a severe thunderstorm warning on it for 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as some nickel-sized hail. But it's going to be that tornado warning that has most of my attention here. So I've put on hail size. That doesn't really impress me. I think it's going to be the velocity or that spin that has my attention more. Let me go backwards here so I can take a look at what some of those scans are showing. So this right here, where you see some of those brighter greens and some of that red, if we have a tornado, it would develop somewhere in here. Again, this warning is for radar indicated rotation, but this is moving towards the northeast. So my friends in Bertram and Oatmeal, if you know anybody in Bertram and Oatmeal, you call them, you say you need to get inside. You need to get into that tornado room, that small room with your helmets on immediately. If we've got maybe schools in Bertram, teachers, principals, we practice for this, right? You want to make sure that the kids are calm and they're organized. Everybody's walking slowly to the hallway. If you don't have helmets, you can put anything on top of your head, maybe a book on top of your head, any jacket you've got on top of your head. You stay into that hallway until this tornado warning expires or until this velocity comes down, because this is pretty concerning to me. These are going to be quick spin up tornadoes that come up, maybe go away for a little bit and come back up. Rich, let's get an update from you. What are you tracking?
Well, I just looked at the National Weather Service's Slack message to us. So they're suggesting that if there is any hail within this tornadic activity or potential tornadic activity, and again, that is in the red outline box that goes through Liberty Hill and then from southwestward they're down into the Marble Falls area. But the bulk of this storm passing to the northeast is a great deal of lightning in it. I did check to see, again, they were concerned about some hail, and so as we go in a little bit tighter and look at the potential for hail, well, that's not the map I wanted. Let's try this one. This is the map I wanted. There was the potential that within the storm from southeast of Burnett to northeast of Suduth, that there could have been some walnut-sized hail. That was what the storm queried when I looked at it about 10 minutes ago. 5 minutes ago, again, tracking to the northeast at around 35 to 40 miles per hour. Kristen has already alluded to the fact of who's in the path of this, and one of the first communities that we're concerned with is Bertram, and ultimately in the vicinities of Oatmeal and also at Briggs, and then on into Williamson County, Liberty Hill up towards Andice. I anticipate that if this storm continues to race as fast as it might, then they may expand the warning of some sort. It could be a severe thunderstorm warning. It may just be an extension of the tornado warning, but for now, it just goes into essentially Liberty Hill 183 and then back down towards the Smithwick area. But the storm moving rapidly, and again, the potential is there for some hail. This lighter white, that blue shade right there southeast of Burnett would indicate that there is a little bit of some hail in that storm, but right now it looks like from all indications that it is small hail, walnut size perhaps, or maybe even marble size, but we'll check on that in just a few minutes. And again, we remind you that if you are in this red shaded box, if your communities are in this red shaded box, that you need to take your tornado safety precautions now. Go to the lowest floor. If you're in Williamson County, up towards the Briggs area in Burnett County, you have time to get to a sturdier shelter. Please do that, because these storms aren't going to mess around. This is an early indication that we're going to be set up for some widespread weather today that could produce severe thunderstorms, as we are in the enhanced risk for severe weather from now until actually 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this means that the potential is there that we are going to see thunderstorms like this flare up rather quickly. It's not going to take much to do that. We have a very moist atmosphere across the area now, dry line advancing out of West Texas. We've got upper level energy from an area of low pressure that is moving from the El Paso area eastward. It's tracking closer to us than recent updated low pressure systems, and this is what we're dealing with for the rest of the day. Kristen?
Thank you so much, Rich. So that one storm is the only concern at this moment. But in case you missed it, a tornado watch has been issued for all of the Austin Metro, for parts of our eastern hill country and eastern communities. That means ingredients are right. So although there is only one tornadic storm out there now with radar indicated rotation, we want everybody to start making that plan and staying informed, staying with KXAN, because we're going to be tracking the threat of more of these kind of storms throughout the day and into tonight. Here's a look at radar now. It looks real messy, right, with the heavy rain, and you heard Rich say some of the small hail. The polygon of concern is this red one. That velocity signature doesn't look as impressive with some of the new radar scans, so that's good news. Maybe this is starting to weaken, and I'm going to tell you what, this is going to be a bear, y'all, when it comes to storms like this, because those storms, they spin up quick and then they weaken pretty quickly. So you are not going to have a lot of lead time with storms today and potentially producing large hail, potentially producing a tornado. This is the storm itself. It's going to be moving towards the north and east, towards Briggs, towards Bertram here. This is the one I want. This is going to be moving at about 25, 30 miles per hour. Oatmeal, you would be next as far as where that storm is expected to go and where that velocity is showing me some of the most concerning looks on radar. But tornado warning in place until 10:30, so that's another 16 minutes. We promise you, if there is a tornado warning anywhere within 15 counties today, we will not only be on air, but we will be on air up through the minute it's expiring. This is not something we take lightly here at KXAN, so I want to make sure you know, for our friends in Burnett, I will stay on air until that tornado warning is gone or this building blows away. This is something that we planned for, and we knew coming into today the atmosphere was so ripe. It was so ripe for storms like this, and the lightning, that started earlier this morning. I mean, you can tell there's just so much energy, so much excitement in this atmosphere that it's not going to take much. Again, all of this is out towards the hill country. I have nothing of concern along the I-35 corridor right now, nothing in the Austin metro area. This is all going to be out west. So Burnett, stay in your tornado room, stay where you are, stay inside, because this storm is going to be something that continues to trek towards the northeast here. So my friends out in eastern Burnett County, really even eastern Williamson County too, up in the northeast, that's where we're going to be tracking this severe thunderstorm if it continues to hold. That severe thunderstorm warning goes until 10:45. That tornado warning is expected to go until 10:30. So backing up, like I said, it does look like this storm is weakening. That is the good news. But if we do have a tornado, it's going to be right here. It's going to be approaching Oatmeal, likely on the south and east side. So Bertram, watch this area here. If you're in your tornado room, maybe listening the TV, maybe you've got the KXAN news app, make sure that you're staying with us, because although we're trending in the right direction, we're not there yet. There's still the potential for this storm to drop a tornado, and this would be the area here. This is going to continue to make its way up towards the northeast. So Bertram, I need you in your tornado room. I need everybody really in this area, because if it's not just that circulation, it's the fact that there's a lot of heavy rain, some small hail, quite a bit of lightning too, but I took off lightning. Sometimes it gets a little harder to see, gets a little convoluted there. So still looking at these times here. Oatmeal, this is going to move through your area first. Bertram at 10:33. So tornado warning continues until 10:30 here, another 14 minutes. If you're in the area, if you know anyone who works in Bertram, in Oatmeal, and Mahomet, you need to give them a call. They need to move inside downstairs in that small room away from all windows immediately. Rich?
Kristen, we got an initial report from the Weather Service that came in about 2 minutes ago of some hail in 5 miles southeast of Burnett, so not too far away from downtown, just to the southeast of 281 in the city of Burnett, that the hail size was smaller than a dime. So we are getting ground confirmation that hail is prominent in the storm right now. Again, we want to talk you through the tornado safety tips if you're in your home and listening to us right now. If you're upstairs, please head downstairs, go to the interior room, the smallest room that you have in your home, and it must be on the lowest lowest level, those interior closets. You want to try to put 2 walls between yourself and the storm, as we always recommend. The more that you have, the better. You want to be in that smallest room where if something were to happen and the ceiling were to collapse, it wouldn't have that far to travel, so it wouldn't pick up speed. Cover yourself with pillows. It says pillows or blankets. And again, as we mentioned in our weather chat this morning on CW Austin Morning, if you have a helmet, a bicycle helmet, put one of those on too, just to be on the safe side. And for those of you up the line and in the tornado watch area today that we also have going on until 5 o'clock, that you leave the mobile home, go take the day at a place of safety with someone who has a more sturdier home and sturdier structure, as it says. And if you're in an apartment, if you're on the 2nd floor or the 3rd floor, try to get down to someone's apartment on the lowest level, because that's where you'll be safe. And so that's what we're suggesting for some of the tornado warnings, for some of the tornado safety tips right now. All right, there you see all of that lightning. We count more than 350 lightning strikes with this storm in about the last 10 to 15 minutes. We've seen more lightning than we have anything else this morning, not just with this storm, but with the storms that moved from Hays County up into Travis and Bastrop counties on into Lee and Williamson counties. But right now it's the storms. And I've taken the rain and the lightning layer off so that you can see where the red outline is for this tornado warning. And by the way, the rest of Burnett County on the whole, essentially north of 71, up in the Marble Falls area and on into Horseshoe Bay, that orange outline indicates a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're not only looking at that potential, but now we have 2 warnings in Burnett County, and the red one extends on into Williamson County around Liberty Hill. When we were checking for hail earlier, we were looking at some hail sizes of marble in the darker shade of, or the lighter shade of gray, marble-sized hail there, and in the darker shade of gray, we were looking at pea-sized hail too. So hail will be the big prominent thing. We were talking about that this morning, that as we go through this day, hail is going to be our biggest concern as we go through the entire day here. Again, a tornado watch until 5 for much of the area. Right now, a severe thunderstorm warning for Burnett and the tornado warning for Burnett and Williamson. Kristen?
Right, Rich. I mean, when it comes to what we're most concerned about at this moment, it's going to be the circulation that we have in Burnett County. I've got a new timeline to show you here of this storm, this tornado-warned storm in Burnett County. Oatmeal now 10:22. Bertram 10:32. Bertram Elementary School 10:32. We've got Andice at 10:59. 11:02 is Briggs. Now this tornado warning, you can see some of the steps that we need you to take right now. This tornado warning continues for another 10 minutes. So I need everybody in Burnett County within that tornado warning, that tornado polygon. If you've got that alert on your phone, you need to be inside, downstairs, and listening to my voice, because I will walk you through it the entire time. I plan to be on air until that circulation goes away. But let's bring this up full now, because I want to make sure that everybody sees this is generally pushing towards northeast. Bertram Elementary School is right on the edge of this. I think in general, the circulation is probably going to go right down middle in theory, since we've seen this morning that those storms are generally driving northeast at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. But teachers at Bertram Elementary School, if you're listening, keep those kids in the hallway, have them put their textbooks in a sort of jacket over their head. We've got another 8 minutes of this warning. I've seen this storm kind of weaken over the past couple of scans on radar. So that's the good news, but still some very, very messy weather. Nobody should be outside right now. I've taken off lightning because when I put on the lightning strikes, we're looking at 300 to 400 strikes within a 10-minute window. So there's just lightning all over the place on my maps if I keep that lightning on. But it's going to be that circulation here. You'll notice some of the brighter colors we had with it earlier. That's when it got warned. Doesn't look as impressive now, but we need to take it seriously. I have not seen a confirmed tornado. When it comes to the warning, it's either a confirmed tornado or radar indicated tornado. That's what fires up a tornado warning from the Weather Service. And they were saying this was a radar indicated rotation. So the storm was spinning, which whether or not that put down a tornado, we don't know yet. I'm hoping we don't have one here. If you out in Burnett County are seeing otherwise, let us know. Shoot me an email, because the ground truth, what you guys see in real life, is going to tell me way more than anything what radar is going to tell me. So I want you inside right now. Don't be going out looking for a tornado. But at this point, it is looking like we're trending in the right direction, that this storm has weakened, that circulation has weakened. And just for perspective here, the brighter the reds and the greens together where they touch each other, that means the stronger longer the rotation. So you'll notice it looked like that earlier, but that has since weakened. Now, just to kind of put this into perspective here, here's the circulation we're watching. Lake Victor is not in the tornado path if we were to have one, but Cannon Dam is not in the direction or the path of this storm. Granite Shoals, you no longer are underneath any sort of immediate weather concern, as most of the heaviest rain, lightning, hail, which we saw on the smaller side, as well as the gusty winds are now to the north of you. But I still need my friends, especially out towards Oatmeal and Burnham, in their tornado room here. So this would be the area of concern. Bertram, this is likely going to slide to the east of the middle of the city here, and it's going to continue to make its way up, maybe briefly clipping parts of northeast Williamson County, just the very tippy top here. But we need nobody on 29 at this moment, or any of these smaller farm to market roads, farm to market 1174, farm to market 243. If you know someone who maybe takes those roads to get to work or school, I know we're a little bit later on in the morning and everybody kind of should be set at their workplace. We don't want anybody on the roads right now taken off guard, because to be honest, if I go back and show you what's going on with radar, you're not going to be able to see anything. That's heavy, heavy rain. So even if we were to have the tornado on the ground, you're not going to be able to see it because it's likely going to be rain wrapped. There's so much moisture, so much, for these storms to feed into, that there's probably going to be a lot of heavy rain hiding any sort of circulation. And that's not just going to be for this storm. That could potentially be for any storm today. So don't be going out looking for it. We need to make sure as soon as you get that tornado warning issued, if you were to see a tornado warning issued for your area, you need to make sure you're going inside downstairs immediately to your tornado room. Here's Williamson County. This is not a threat for Georgetown, not a threat for Austin. However, we still do have a tornado watch in effect until 5 p.m. So I'm not seeing a clear indication of a tornado. Again, we're starting to see some of those muter colors here, not those bright greens, those bright reds. That would indicate some strong circulation. But man, this is a nasty storm. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning that continues until 10:45, but that tornado warning is going to continue for at least another 5 to 6 minutes. The blue polygons you see a little further up here, these are actually going to be flash flood warnings. So that's Bell County up through Waco and all the way into portions of the Northeast, because it's been raining heavily all morning long out there. But at the moment, the most concerning and most pressing storm is going to be this one in Burnett County, moving towards the Northeast with a tornado warning on it for another 5 minutes. I do not anticipate Austin impacts. I really don't anticipate much of the way of impacts to Georgetown right now. But again, this is going to be one of probably several different flavors of storms we see today. It's one of those days, friends. So maybe you're not in that tornado warning now. Maybe you're not in that severe thunderstorm warning now, as most of this is kind of centered over Burnett County. We want to make sure you guys know that these storms pop up quick, and they could pop up at any time today. So one storm of concern moving towards the Northeast. For those who are maybe just joining, we've got a tornado warning in place for Burnett County. Small little sliver there of eastern Williamson County, but it does look like that circulation is going to jog a little bit further north into Burnett County before it ever crosses into Williamson County. Georgetown is not in this line of fire, but like I said, that lightning, that right there is 510 strikes in the last 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So that's going to fluctuate back and forth. But there's a little bit more of a hail core now that we have just to the east of Burnett. So maybe we're losing some of the rotation, but we're not necessarily losing this storm. So something to keep an eye on here. This would be, again, the rotation of concern moving just to the east of Bertram. I still want Oatmeal to stay in their tornado room, but you're good now. Gandy, Fairland, and Burnham. We want to make sure that you guys know that although the circulation has now passed you, you still have hail, wind, and lightning as a threat now. We do have Mike Rush standing by for updates. Have we heard of any sort of reports coming in via email from emergency managers, Katie? I don't think.
I'll go ahead and take it because I do have the answer to your question. Yeah, we have been in touch with Burnett County CISD as well as the city of Bertram, which is the area that's impacted there. So kids are not in school today, which was already on the schedule that they wouldn't be in school. So they resume classes tomorrow, meaning that they are not in classrooms and they are at home, which might be a better scenario for the severe weather that we're experiencing right now. Burnett County Office of Emergency Management is assessing the damage there. They have not seen any damage so far, but this is just forming now. Hopefully it'll stay that way, but they are going to be checking, and we're checking with them as well to make sure we keep on track of any sort of damage. Also, the city of Bertram is assessing any possible damage there, but so far we are not seeing any reports of damage in that area either, Kristen.
Thank you so much, Mike. That's wonderful news. I'm actually really happy to hear that kids are home and not in those schools, because it's always a little scary, right, when you're away from family. But I will tell you, the good news is this does not look nearly as strong as it did just a little bit ago. But I'll tell you what, if Mom, Dad, Grandma, Grandpa, you're at home with the kids, you tell them it's going to be okay. We're not going to leave you until this circulation weakens completely, or until this warning expires. This is what we do. This is what we planned for coming into today. So I got you. Just make sure you hold on tight to whatever toy you've got with you. You keep that there for comfort. This tornado warning is still in place until 10:30. I'm not seeing from the Weather Service that they're going to cancel or extend it. So we'll still wait on word from that. But like I said, Rich.
They did say, by the way, a few minutes ago that the tornado signature is going away and will weaken even further. So that was at 10:21. So that was good news to at least report, but we still have all of that rain in the area. Now, if you are on my computer, so that is good. We do want to just alert you to one other thing. I'm going to take the radar imagery off for just a moment. You see that big green shade across parts of southwestern Burnett into Llano counties. Kristen, as you mentioned earlier, this is for a flood advisory that will be in effect until 1:15. Flood advisory for Burnett and southeastern Llano counties. Again, the potential is there due to the heavy rain that they had this morning of some minor flooding. And I'm still seeing a little bit of hail on my radar, and you're seeing it too, just to the west of the 29 marker on this map.
For sure. I mean, if you're new to Central Texas, or maybe I know we're coming off a big day yesterday with the eclipse, these flood advisories are about a dime a dozen here. We get these quite often because when it rains in Central Texas, it can rain. So if you are new to the area, if you're visiting, basically these green flood advisory tells us if you come along a road and you see that dip, do not go through it. Do not go through any sort of flooded out low water crossing, because you have no idea how deep that water could actually be. I mean, a lot of the times when we see heavy rain events, that road could be taken out. So you're not even driving on anything that could support your car. So please make sure to turn around and don't drown. This is a big problem that we have here in Central Texas. We live in flash flood alleys. So if you're visiting, you really need to take those flood concerns seriously. Here is the severe thunderstorm warning that continues. Let's go back to my computer if we can, because it does look like they have expired that tornado warning. So that is the good news. As we've been telling y'all for the last 15, 20 minutes, that circulation looked weaker and weaker, and we no longer have a tornado warning in place. The severe thunderstorm warning continues until about 10:45. That's this orange polygon here. That's for about 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as some small hail on the nickel-sized variety there. But again, because the tornado warning has expired, because the circulation looks much weaker, we will step out. We will allow you to visit regular programming on KXAN and CW Austin Morning. If need be, we will jump back on if any other spin-ups occur. But as a reminder, that tornado watch continues until 5 p.m. for all of the Austin Metro, as well as parts of our eastern counties. I believe I have that for you if I kind of just jump forward through my graphics, because that was one of the newer updates that we had after KXAN News today. I believe it's at the very end of my show. We'll go back to it. If Rich, can you jump up into that tornado watch for me, and we could pull Max, because I'll leave you with that tornado watch, since that is going to be something that will be under for a while, for the next 6-7 hours there. You got that up for me, sir? He's trying to get it for me. So that tornado watch, y'all who've got that KXAN weather app, you got the heads up first. Go ahead, run that banner for me. This goes until 5 p.m. All of the Austin Metro, eastern counties, eastern portions of the Hill Country, tornado watch until 5 p.m. Keep it on KXAN. We will jump in as needed, but we will return you to your regular programming.